What's good, everybody? This your boy Big Manny coming from Beyond the Blur, and here's what I think. Ultimately, artificial intelligence is kind of here to replace women, especially black women. First off, I'm gonna quickly qualify myself to even have this conversation. I created the Black NASDAQ. I also created Beyond the Blur. If you go on Instagram, Black NASDAQ right now sits between 98,000 people. That could have ballooned anywhere to 250 to 300,000 people following. I just, again, take hiatus from my videos just because it always gets to a certain point where I see behind the veil, and honestly, I just don't want no part of it. 4 years ago, I made a video about artificial intelligence, and the premise of this video was there was a Caucasian male who had a artificial intelligent model. And this to me was scary because he was actually putting different articles of clothing on this artificial intelligent model and basically was getting paid for it. I brought it up and a lot of people rocked with me, but there was also some people that jumped down my throat because basically what I ended up doing was I broke him down just as a sociology premise or basis. So you got a Caucasian male who seems to be homosexual. Not that his sexual preference has anything to do with anything, but he ended up having a black AI model. And the reason why all of those things should mean the most is because an African American male a lot of times is going to have a different perspective than a Caucasian male or a Filipino male. Same thing when it comes to any other walk of life, right? That's the beauty of diversity, is we can all come to the table and we can explore and share our differences and make the world a better place. But when your difference gets to own my difference to make monetary gain, that is where it gets scary. And not that his sexual preference has anything to do with it, but I had a lot of people jump down my throat asking me, well, what does his sexual preference have to do with anything? It wasn't his sexual preference. It's the fact that he came from a different walk of life, vastly, and he ended up owning the likeness of somebody that looks like you. This was 4 years ago. Now, AI is not only a thing, it's the thing. It's trending all over the news, it's everywhere, and people are getting very comfortable with it. But here's me again, 4 years later, telling people again that you might want to be careful. Because what I predict is AI is going to very quickly replace a lot of women, especially black women. How did I qualify myself? Let's get to it. Black women especially are great when it comes to fashion. You could put them in anything, you could put them in any situation, and they will make the situation better, right? Black women alone are the reason why a lot of these brands be making a lot of money. Fashion Nova, I could go on and on. And you always needed like a model in front of it or a spokesperson in front of it, because without that human interaction, nobody's going to rock your stuff. It's the same way in music. If you look, SZA is killing it, Glorilla is killing it, we can go on and on. It's their time. But ultimately what ends up happening is you don't want to pay. From a corporate level, my job is to maximize how much money I make. If I can create something that looks like you and sound like you, and I understand you to a very basic fundamental, even your dialect, why would I pay you? Why would I tell you to promote my brand, right? And that in itself is the play. That is their next play. Who is they? Corporations, even small businesses, the people that step out in front of it. That's what they're going to do. They're going to push human beings aside, lowering their actual financial risk while being able to do different things and dabble in different industries while having a spokesperson for them. And what's shocking about this is no matter the outrage or the backlash, you would never know unless you do some digging who's behind it. And that's the biggest thing. You could try different things, whether it's clothes, whether it's shoes, whether it's food. You could put an AI person in front of anything and ultimately try to sell whatever you're selling. And a lot of women know this, but I want to make this very clear. Beauty sells. In fact, they will all ultimately say sells. If you are a beautiful woman, your Instagram following overnight, boom, you go up. A lot of women don't want to admit this, but it's little that they have to do to grow very rapidly. So now imagine, here's a quick story for you. I make music, and I make lounge type music, and I recently started posting on TikTok, and I've had a lot of people interested in what I was doing. You can see by people going in on the profile, and they always go on the profile and they never follow. Whether it's me not having that many followers or whatever it is, I get likes. People like the content, but I never get followers. So one day I had this deep thought, and I was like, well, let me use AI and put a black model in front of it. Black female model. I did that, and I used Artlist. And what ended up, the images came out flawless. A lot of people didn't know that it wasn't AI. We're still at the baby phases of it. I had more views and likes on those posts than my music posts. In fact, one of the posts gave me followers on my Spotify for my playlist. Nothing changed. The music was still quality. But it's because you put a seemingly beautiful woman, black woman, in front of the camera, and it sold. And it blew my mind, just because I already kind of knew that was a thing, but how easy it was and how easy it is for a beautiful woman to step in, not have to say anything on the camera, and boom, sell whatever it is. So I have a small, limited budget in what I was working with. Imagine a corporation who could push millions and billions into this. The after effect of this is going to be beauty standards change. You're going to have a lot of companies pushing out these images of everybody. You're always going to have the racists over here. You're always going to have the sexists over here doing their things. But the bigger thing is corporate America is going to manipulate this to work in their benefit. There is no legislation. There's no laws to protect the likeness of, or even you. It doesn't matter. I could look however I want to look. There's nothing protecting you. There's nothing protecting your grandmother who died 3 years ago, but have an image out there and they're now slowly resurfacing. So that for me is why I had to hop in front of the camera and say, you know what? Let me rededicate beyond the blur. Let's go deeper into this. So is it a way that you could kind of combat it? I ain't gonna lie to you. I hate to be the dark person in this, but I think that cat is already out the bag. I think the best thing that you can kind of do is acknowledge it. The only fight that you got is to vote it, get somebody who respects that and try to combat that. Or at least say, if the corporations are going to use that image, create a fund where, you know, black women get so much. I don't know. I'm kind of talking out my ass at this point. I don't know. But, you know, if you like the content, subscribe. I'm definitely going to go a little bit more into dead internet theory. But this is where we're at. It's 2025. Think about 2030. We are only at the beginning. only at the beginning. But if you like this talk and you like where I'm going with it, make sure you follow your boy. Again, my name is Big Manny. I'm out.